Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop on this Sunday night. I'm Gav. With me, I have got Emma, I have got Seany. Where's Keith, you ask? Keith's not well. All the house are all sick, so we just said to him, Keith, relax there. We'll talk to you during the week. Liverpool 3, Burnley 1 at Anfield yesterday. The lads done, as always. A post-match reaction to that. That was Matt and Kev. That's available there for you on YouTube or download. And tonight, as always on a Sunday, we'll just talk a little bit about the match, some of the players, anything else outside of that with regards to Liverpool, and then we'll be on our merry way. Seany, beautiful, beautiful top you have on you tonight. I'm loving the orange. How are you?
Good.
You're in good
not
form.
bad. Yeah, in good form. The back to winning way for the Reds. We haven't had to have too many bounce backs this season, thankfully. I think that last week was the third game. I think we lost all season in all competitions, so can't complain. Enjoying it. Enjoying the end of a brilliant era in a modern Liverpool, let's say.
Yeah. Let me see. Kieran says another Super Bowl where I'll fall asleep during it. Of course, the Super Bowl is on 11:35. I think it kicks off later on. Go Giants. Yeah, enjoy that if you're watching it. Who's in it? 49ers
Chiefs
and the
49ers.
Chiefs. Okay. We might have a little prediction on that later. Emma, how are you?
Yeah, good. Better than last week. Great to, like Seany said, great to get back to winning ways.
Can I ask you both, Seany, I'll start with you. How many of them boys on the pitch yesterday did you think at halftime definitely have the flu?
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ball boys, everything.
It must be long COVID. Don't get me started on the first half.
Half the main stand.
Very, very long COVID.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? I'm jumping straight in like fucking... Emma posted a thing in the group saying that Alisson and Gomez went out on the walk, and I thought to myself, right, this is going to be one of them games. Like, even in 1920 when we won the league, there was games where it was just, for want of a better word, scuttery, shy. Like, it was just... Remember the game against Brighton where Alisson gets sent off, and games like that. And you just think, this is going to be trickier than it needs to be. Burnley rooted to near bottom of the table. Like, they knew, look, you seen them roll over and get the belly tickled against City, but you just felt like, okay, you hear Klopp saying, the flu's at the run. And it can happen because at the end of the day, you kind of need to remember that they're humans. Like, at the end of the day, no matter how fit you are, if there's a bout of flu running through the squad, it's fairly hard to just do normal operating things rather than having to run 12, 13 kilometres in a high-intensity game of football. So it was kind of... And it's got to be like, if we were all fit, I'd just kind of be thinking, right, just fucking 3 points and get out here. But after the first half, I was like, fucking hell, just get the win and bounce, because it was a particularly tough watch. And to be honest with you, they were actually, to give Burnley their props, it wasn't like a fucking Stoke rocking up and just being real pragmatic. They played some nice football. They were nice on the eye. They were popping it around a little bit in the first half. So the game kind of went as I expected. And looking at the fixtures, I spoke to you about this last night. I expect a few games like that to be like that now in the next couple of weeks. Just like kind of in a title charge where you sometimes have to navigate when it's not going your way. There's injuries are adding up, missing a few key players, and that's the way it played out yesterday. It was a professional job in the end. And look, Arsenal win 6-0 today. City dispatch everything, and we beat Burnley, and you only get 3 points for a win. So it doesn't really fucking matter how you get it done. It's just about getting it done. So I thought it was going to be... It kind of played out the way I thought it would, but thankfully it wasn't one of them where you're going, for fuck's sake, you're not going to win the league if you're dropping points at home to Burnley. Thankfully it wasn't.
Yeah. It's... Emma, the thing is, right, like, what you did say to us, it looks like Alisson and Gomez is out, and then I was like, okay, he'll just play... He's playing Kwanzaa anyway. He'll play Kelleher. He'll play Robertson. I'm absolutely fine with that. Who's in midfield? Who's up front? I'll be absolutely fine with them. But the thing about the first half for me is that I was looking at them going, there's a few of these shouldn't have been playing. Like, Trent Alexander-Arnold is in no way fit. I don't care what anybody says to you. He is no way fit. He was hanging legs everywhere. He was walking to take throw-ins, walking to take free kicks. He was blown after 25 minutes of the game, and I was like, he could be getting hooked here. Like that's what kind of stuck a bit of fear into me, Emmet. That, like, don't get me wrong, everyone at full pace, that team absolutely just put Burnley away, and they do in the end. They do. But the first half, Emmet, looked like there's a few of them in there that are struggling, and they've just about managed to declare themselves fit, while the other boys obviously didn't.
Yeah, no, that they may not have had flu, but they could have been coming off the back of it. So when he says it's going through the squad, like 5 or 6 of them could have had it earlier on in the week, and the flu knocks the bollocks out of you. Like, so if they're not training, it's just you're absolutely zapped. We've all had the flu. Remember, flu used to be a thing. Then it seems to be a thing again. It was COVID for a while, but yeah, you could just tell it was just. And I know I'm always moaning about the first half, but that was particularly bad. Like, we've been bad in first half before, but that just looked like a gang of strangers trying to play football together. There was less energy than we'd normally have when we have no energy in the first half. It just looked shocking, and yeah, it was they either have it or they've just come back from having it, or they're just over it. And that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I think one of the commentary that I was watching said that maybe Trent realised halfway through the game that he had it. So the flu does just hit you out of nowhere. Like, it's not a kind of a slow grower. You can't just 1 minute feel grand, next minute feel shit. But you're hoping it's more so the flu than it is the knee injury, wasn't there? Somebody said it was a pain in his knee as well, that he may have been rushed back too quickly. And would he have played yesterday? Look, I know Bradley, God love him, isn't there for other reasons, but would Trent have played as quickly if Bradley was still around? I don't think so. I think I would have liked to see Bradley still in the team.
You see, the thing with Trent is if that knee issue is still there and they're rushing him back, I don't really go along with that. I think it's more likely that Trent said yesterday, look, I'm not 100%, but I'm okay to play. Yeah. And, and then it kind of caught up with him by halftime, and he went, look, off. Do you know the sort of way? Because I think if it was a knee injury, you know how Liverpool go on. If you have an injury and they're not sure on you, they just won't play it. How many fellas have you seen that meant to be over 2 weeks and they're out for 4? They just won't play it. Do you know the sort of way? And the first half, we go 1-0 up, Jota gets the goal, and Jesus, thank God he's around at the minute. But Jota gets the goal, they equalise. But the whole overall play, Seany, was, like Emmet said, there was no...
Disjointed.
It just looked like we were like 10-15% below what our usual energy levels are. And that enabled, I think, Burnley, in fairness to them, who tried to play, but actually gave Burnley some, confidence and encouragement in the fact that, Jesus, we're trying this. Liverpool would usually eat us up while we're doing it and go and kill us. But we're actually getting a few fucking eyes in here with regards to attempts on goal and stuff. And it just affected us big time for 45 minutes, Seany.
Yeah, it did. There was some notably poor performances in the first. And look, you don't want to go in and go over the top and be hypercritical, because it was one of the games where there was a bit of a scenario going on where there was sickness. And I'm not making excuses. Klopp alluded to it in the presser the day before that he didn't know what the makeup of the squad was going to be because there was an issue with sickness in it. And then you've Konate, who's suspended, and then obviously Alisson Gomez ended up being out. And I think it was just one of them where it was kind of like, right, just fucking get through this, just dig in and get Burnley at home at Anfield. It's manageable. It's not like fucking, they're not coming and not playing a Brighton who might be sprite. And they came and had a go. They had a bit of impetus about them from the off. And they did. They had a go. They played some nice football. Like, Van Dijk looked yards off it. He was just swiping at everything. It was uncharacteristic. And then we had Kelleher in goal, who ends up doing well. I don't think there's been moments this season in games where Kelleher probably hasn't covered himself in glory when he's come in. And I'm not digging the lad out. I feel the lack of game time looked like it was probably finally starting to kind of affect his game. But he was good as well yesterday. So, you're absolutely mad if you think Burnley didn't look at the team sheet yesterday, seeing Kwanzaa in there and Kelleher, and thought, you know what? if you're ever going to get a fucking result at Anfield, it's today. Obviously with what was surrounding it, and you kind of need to be commended, I think, Liverpool for a job very well done professionally, especially in the second half, how they managed the game. And look, it's not a case where we were outly shy and we were lucky to win, which there was games this season where we've played really fucking poor and won. Yeah, like I remember coming on shows here saying, do you know what, we'll play better than that and get beaten in games this year.
Yeah.
Um,
And now we're at the stage where we go, we'll play worse than that and lose, you know, sort of way.
Yeah,
or we play better than that and lose, sorry.
Yeah. So, like, it's just kind of, it's box ticking now, isn't it? We're at that stage. It's like, it's February now. I think if we negate this month, we could come out with a trophy, a bit of silverware, and then you're setting up a big showdown with City at the start of March. And there's a couple of roadblocks in between, a couple of banana skins, I think, league games.
I know you have your eye on this next one.
Like I was like, I won't lie to you, I've really enjoyed watching this team this year, even before I knew what Klopp's departure and all. I've enjoyed seeing the kind of the change up, the different approach. I was worried about the Bournemouth game. Before I kick off. I thought again, shite weather, shite conditions, just one of them where it can be tricky. I'm missing Salah, a couple of players out. Bradley plays that game. Brilliant. So, I expect 12:30 away to Brentford to be tricky. Brentford have been like a taunt. We've struggled away to Brentford since.
Yeah, we've drawn 3-3 and lost 3-1.
Yeah,
I think
we've not won there.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle there, and they're a good direct side with quality in there. And I do look. I'm not saying I want him to be the fucking next Liverpool manager. I do rate Thomas Frank. I think he's a good coach. I think he's done a really good job there. So it's kind of like when you're looking at the blocks of games, you're kind of thinking, "Oof, a win there will be huge." Considering we're playing before the other two as well, I expect Saturday to be a really fucking tough game. Looking at our fixtures, I do think we have the nicest run in of the three teams.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
I look at it running and I'm kind of thinking there's bleeding stuff happening all over the place because, like,
I think City have to play Arsenal again. They have to go to Spurs. They've to come to us. They have to come to Anfield. Arsenal have to go to Man City. They have to go to Spurs.
They have to go to United.
They have to go to United. We have to go to United, of course.
They have to host Villa.
Yeah, we have to go to Villa. Like I do think
we've City at home, United away. We've Spurs at home. We Villa away. I just think, and then the whole Everton thing. If we stay in all these cups, Everton could be the Wednesday before the season finishes.
I'm not. Normally, I'd be fucking the pessimist when looking at a fixture list, but it makes me the optimist. I do look at ours and think, and I maintain what I said. I think if I'm going into that City game with a chance to go ahead of them with a win, or stay ahead with a draw, we're bang in it. Like, it's not. I don't think it's a 90-point that season where two teams are just fucking way better than the rest. There's some teams coming into form now. Spurs proving to be like resilient. Villa slipping a little bit, but in the mix. Newcastle capable of beating anyone on the day and putting up them on the day. They've been picking up a few results and they're climbing up. And they're all like, there's jeopardy all over the table. Spurs become a good side, and Arsenal are picking it up again. So I do think everyone's gonna be dropping points and beating everyone, but I do like the look of their running. I think Saturday coming is one of the more difficult games we have left in the calendar.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just think that the form we've shown at Brentford, the 3-3 we should win. Let's be honest about it. The one we get beaten there last season were poxy, like we're appalling, right?
Yeah,
and it is one of those games within that season, and I think Liverpool probably have a point to prove. With regards to going to Brentford. But just quickly on you're saying you win, you get 3 points, and there's jeopardy all over the league, because there's jeopardy over everything at the minute, and I think that's going to continue.
Every single position is up for grabs.
Yeah, I think top 4 is going to go to the death. I think 5th, 6th, 7th, like those conference division, all that's going to go really, really close. But Emma, like, you look at the weekend, right? Just quickly on this, because like Liverpool don't play well and win. I think City don't play well and win. I think City don't have a shot on target till they score against Everton on 71 minutes and having two shots on target all game, and it's the second goal they score. Arsenal, I think today, people are reading into West Ham being shy today. I'd actually read into a bit more than that. I think that's a real statement win from Arsenal today, where Arsenal have gone, we've won last week and they deserved it, and we've backed it up this week with a fucking hammering of West Ham. Do you know what I mean? And people kind of go, West Ham are shite, and try to write it off. I wouldn't be as quick to write it off. I think Arsenal backing that up is major for them. But it's for you, is it just same as? It's just a case of, look, it doesn't matter really who you're playing from here on in. Just go and win your game, because that's the stage we're at now.
Yeah, that's what Shawnee said. Just go and get your 3 points. If you can get it before they play, even better, to pull the pressure on. I kind of agree with Shawnee with the running. I'd prefer to have ours over others. I think whilst we have tough teams, so we've got United away, we've got Villa away. I'd much prefer to have them away than to have Spurs and Man City away.
I just look at our last three. I think it might be Spurs at home, Villa away, Wolves at home. And I just think there's more tricks in there than the others have. Maybe I'm wrong.
The only thing that gets worried toward the end of the season is that, are you coming up against teams that have something to play for? Right? They'll all want to beat us anyway, but are Villa going to be pushing for the top four, or will they be out of it by then? Do you know what I mean? Are Spurs there or thereabouts for top four? Wolves will probably be in around about 13, 14, safe, not pushing for Europe. They'll be playing with their flip-flops on. But it is just about grinding out results now. I don't think at any point this season, maybe Chelsea, but again, you're looking at the actual opposition. I don't think we have been at our best at all this season. But I also don't think that Man City have been at their best. Do I think that Man City haven't been at their best because of injuries, or because I don't think they have the ability to be as good as they were last year before. I think they've changed slightly. The team probably isn't as strong. I think we're not at our best because we've brought in a whole brand new midfield, and we can get better. I think Man City kind of, without adding, probably obviously, and they can't before the end of the season, they can hit a certain level but not go past it. I think we can go past a certain level. Like 2 weeks ago, we were looking at, we've only got 2 people left to come back, Thiago and Bajcetic. Now all of a sudden we've a list about 7 or 8 people long that might miss the next couple of games. Hopefully we're getting those back, because they don't seem to be too bad of injuries. So hopefully we get them back for the run-in. It is just go get your. If it's 1-0, nobody cares. Like Shawnee says, you get 3 points whether it's 1-0 or 6-0. I know what you're saying about Arsenal and the statement win, but again, they still only get 3 points for it. They get the same amount of points as we get for a scuttery win against Burnley. Do you know what I mean? So it's just go and get the win, regardless of what. Would you like to see Liverpool play absolutely unbelievable football and blow everybody away? Of course you would. But when have we ever done that in easy? It's just all about the 3 points.
Bob Paddock reckons City have the best fixture list in the run, in his opinion. He says we need to beat them. Arsenal seem to play the same 11 each week. Very lucky with injuries, says Carl. Yeah, I was looking at Arsenal's bench today and I was like, Jesus, when you look past that 11, there isn't an awful lot there, but they're winning. And, once they keep winning, there you go. Anyway, I just wanted to ask you that as to where you see we are, but I think we're all kind of in agreement that just keep winning your games. And, whoever you come up against, like, we have of course, we have Brentford away, then we play Luton at home in the midweek, then we play the League Cup final, then we play the FA Cup that midweek, and then I think we're away to Forest, and that kind of brings us into the very end, or start 3rd or 4th of March, and then the next one, and then the next one is City. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to yesterday, because I want to go through a couple of players, right? And we've spoken at length about Kelleher. And I think he does really well yesterday. I don't think he can do anything on the goal. I think he just comes across as a brilliant fucking header. Like, it's just powered into the goal, right? And we spoke, other than that, I think he comes out well. He blocks a couple, he makes a couple of good saves. I think he was absolutely fine. I want to talk about Andy Robertson, because under the radar, I know we've been banging on about Joe Gomez and absolutely brilliant, but when we're talking about run-ins and stuff like that, Emma, bringing back a player like this and getting him back up to speed and having him there, that's priceless, along with Salah coming back. But, you know, I'm not saying drop Joe Gomez for a minute. Make your own mind up who you want to play left back. But having someone like that that's been through it all with Liverpool coming back to full fitness, I think is huge. And I think it showed in parts yesterday, his experience.
Yeah, it's gonna, like, it's massive having him back. Like, like, when all fit and when all match fit, he has to be your starting left back. Joe Gomez has done extremely well and will be hard to shift, but it's a great problem to have. To know that should Robbo break down or should Tsimikas break down, you've got Gomez to sit in there. Having on Andy Robertson back is going to be brilliant. I still don't think he's back to full fitness. I think Klopp even said in his own press conference that, like, last week was important because when these boys are coming back, because they've been out for so long, they don't just go straight back into training with the first team. They have to do different training because the first team are used to playing now. He said every 3 days nearly are playing, so it's there's not as intense training for those. Whereas Robbo is going to need it, so that's what he said about last week coming on against Arsenal. Was to get that kind of match feeling. He said you can be training fit, but you can't be match fit. And you do see him kind of slowly coming back into it. And I thought he had a decent enough game yesterday. I'd just like to see him maybe link up a little bit, because when he was gone, we thought maybe Diaz isn't playing great, or he isn't playing to the standards that he could have. Obviously, there was other reasons, but maybe Robertson will bring that out in him. Didn't really see that much yesterday, but I'd like to see that them kind of link it up a little bit more down that left side. But yeah, he's his national captain. Like, it's another voice on the pitch as well, and he has that bit of kind of dog in him as well that maybe we were missing little bits of. That kind of gives you kind of nearly a psychological edge as well. But it's going to be massive having him back.
Yeah, Shawnee, another man returning yesterday, and I thought he was excellent, was Endo. I think he comes in there yesterday, you know, he goes back into the six, McAllister moves ahead, and he just went, for me, he went around the pitch yesterday, Shawnee, and while we were poor, he was still mopping things up. I love the fact that we should have had a free kick and then he just went and just took a fella out and went, fuck that. Do you know what I mean? But for him to come back and just be straight back into it, and I don't think his level dropped. I don't think you've seen a drop in level yesterday to what you've seen before he went away in early January. Again, just another player we have there, and I think he's really important in these situations where there might be a bit of flu going through the squad. We might be down a couple of bodies. You need someone that's not pretty, that'll just fucking stand on, you know, strikers' toes from long kicks and stuff like that, just to get in that way. I thought he was excellent when he came back yesterday, Sean.
Yeah, and I think a ground endorsement for Endo would be that, think about in August when the signing was announced, everyone was kind of underwhelmed and thinking, what's the fucking point? And then you were kind of, there was a sense of comfort in knowing that Endo's back today, and we have Endo in there. Don't get me wrong, like, fucking McAllister has put in some outstanding performances in the six while he was away, played some of his best football for Liverpool yet, but Endo is limited, but what he gives us is very, very valuable, especially in games like that. And I mean limited in a as a term of endearment, to be honest with you, because I think his abilities are way overlooked. He's just clever and always there, and the engine to boot. He grew into the game. I thought the longer the game went on, the stronger he looked. He was still flying around the pitch. So yeah, a great player to have, and an absolute brilliant bit of business he's proved to be, I think, by Liverpool. Obviously not it's not ideal for your starting six, if I'm being totally honest. Like, I think Liverpool probably be looking in the market next year, regardless who the manager, but definitely a player worthwhile having around. He's proved to fucking a very, very, very astute bit of business by Liverpool, and he's come in and really put a foot wrong. Delighted with him, to be honest with you, turning out to be kind of a cult hero, which I think a lot of people called, to be honest with you. I don't think I hadn't a clue who that fella was this time last year. I'm not going to lie to you. but he's come in and he's done really well. He's done really, really well. And then again, I think another facet of the play is how well the bench players come in and contribute and change the game. I'm sure we'll get on to that. So
we're going to get on to one of them in a minute, yeah.
a lot
I
of the
think
characters and the marks of a Liverpool team kind of showed up yesterday. The lads were very professional and delighted to have Endo back. He's going to be huge for us. Absolutely huge. He's an enabler. We use the word fucking time and time again about what we needed in the summer, and I think the word enabler always came up, and that's exactly what he is. He's a water carrier, and you need water carriers, or as Bill Shankly called him, a piano carrier. Just give me one piano player and 10 people to carry you, and that's all you need. And if you're going to win Anton, you look at any team that's won Anton going back years. Chelsea had like a Ramirez or a Kante or players who are facilitators. United had players like Nicky Butt, Darren Fletcher, Ji-Sung Park. Like, there's characteristics in these sides of teams that end up winning a lot of trophies. And it's players like Endo where they're fucked in there. And that makes Gary McAllister for us when he comes in that season. Just kind of knits it all together in a way that's not too fancy. He's been a fucking brilliant signing, and it means the world to him to play for Liverpool, which for me is better than that. And you could have a fucking 100 to 100 million shy hawks running around on 8-year contracts like the lads at Chelsea. I'd much rather win trophies with lads like Endo in the team. That's the God honest truth.
Yeah.
You saw a different side to his game yesterday as well. He was getting forward a lot, and even his passes, he was sliding passes through out to the wing. And maybe he just has maybe both of them, him and McAllister, were the two of them playing there, kind of give each other freedom. One sits, one goes. I thought he played really well yesterday, and the progressive play, like we saw him before he went away and to the Asia Cup, breaking things up, getting his foot in, being like loves an old tackle. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that one yesterday, you said, God, there was a foul, and it was nearly like he said, "That's not a tackle. I'll show you how to tackle." Like,
yeah.
And
if you're not giving that, let's see if you give this. Do you know what I mean?
We should just give them all fucking gum shields. Like, I'm all for lads wearing gum shields. I think he's absolutely brilliant, and it was just a shame that it broke up and he had to go to the A's because he was building up ahead of steam. But like, he's come back and all right, bit of a slow start, but maybe it was him and McAllister trying to get used to playing together. I don't think they'd played together before today, had they? Not started.
I can't remember the midfield of Endo, Jones, McAllister, to be honest with you.
So it probably took them 15 minutes or so to kind of figure it out, but both of them, I thought, grew into the game, were excellent second half.
Of course, Curtis Jones ended up changing position, and he was absolutely fine there as well. But you see, the thing with Curtis Jones is, I know it was an awful lot of time. I think he plays left back for us loads. Like, he literally just turns up at left back and says to the left back, "You go on in there somewhere, and I'll just monopolise this left side of the pitch with whoever's playing me, and I'll kind of bend it to my own feelings here." And he does it loads, but he just ends up a right back, and he just does his job. Seany, I'll stick with you because this lad we're going to talk about, for me, changes the game and turns it on its head. Right? Absolutely turns it on its head. And we've banged on about him all season. And to be honest with you, every time we give him a bit of credit, we end up with comments from somebody going, "Oh, you give him way too much credit." Whereas I think when he's come on this season into games, I think he's been brilliant. And that's Harvey Elliott. And he must be sitting there going, "How do I get a fucking start in this team? Because every time I come on, I'm doing this. But the thing is, like, he comes on yesterday, and my biggest thing with Harvey Elliott is he clearly sits on the bench and watches games unfold. He's not sitting there kind of head down, I'm not playing. He's obviously intently watching games, because the speed at which he gets, maybe not to the pace of games, but to the flow and the way and the gaps and all these things in games, I think is brilliant. He comes on and he knows where the gaps are going to be. He knows where to hit the attacking pass, the incisive passes, where to keep it simple. And he comes on yesterday, and honestly, Seany, he was fucking brilliant when he came on. He gets two assists.
Yeah,
he gets excellent. 2 assists, and he actually just takes Liverpool's level, brings it up in intensity, and goes, "Right, this is the level we're at. This is where I'm at, and you're all fucking staying there for 45, and that's the end of it." He was brilliant.
Yeah, but I think it was a response from him, Gav, to be honest with you, because I think his last 2 cameos off the bench have been atrocious. Like,
But do you think it's a response from him? Because I think he should have started at Arsenal ahead of
no, well,
Gravenberch.
he's at fault for the second goal, the third goal against that.
Yeah,
And playing
okay.
against Chelsea.
But that's where the
Look,
response comes.
yeah, I really like Elliott. I do. I said it loads of times on this pod, and I put my hand up. I didn't see where he plays in the midfield. I still don't see him as an 8, but I see him as an asset. Whereas he's kind of like a fucking ace in the hole off the bench where you can bring him in and he can do bits off the right and he's really good contributing going forward. I just worry about he has no fucking idea what does be going on behind him. We've seen in the Chelsea game, the ball bounces in behind him. He can't get around quick enough. He can't run. I don't think he has the legs to be honest. But I'm being
Yeah, no, I think the Chelsea goal, the goal you were talking, or the thing you were talking about is the Chelsea goal. And what I actually think happens to him is he comes out and he's running way too fast too soon.
and
And
it's
he
it's
gets
just fucking
caught.
loud. I don't know. Look, I am nitpicking here, but because
No, you're
people
allowed.
people are getting at you saying, "Oh, you do big him up too much." I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's been games where he's come on and he's been fucking phenomenal. He comes on away at Arsenal, Newcastle, and he's fucking off
Yeah.
the chain. Work he does, won't get the credit for it.
Wins the
work
game
he
at Palace.
is off. Wins the game at Palace. Luton, he gets the assist for the equaliser, and he turns the game on its head the other day. I just worry about. And I'd have to say, like, I can level this at Gravenberch as well. You can just tell sometimes the lads, I don't know whether they don't get, obviously they give up bollocks, but they're not thinking, they're not sniffing danger, they're not seeing what's going in behind. Like the third goal last week against Arsenal, like what the fuck's he doing? I may as well have been marking Trossard.
Yeah.
Why a two he's going to get the ball popped around him? But the flip side is, like you said, you can see he's obviously looking onto the pitch. He's a very intelligent footballer. Not to remember, I think he's only 20, isn't he? I think
21.
he's 21. Yeah, he's so young. He's so young. He's bundles of talent, loads of ability. He loves that little clip ball where he just kind of wraps his foot around it. And it's kind of like you meet that there. And there's just he's had loads of goal contributions coming off the bench. He's got a couple of goals. A brilliant footballer. I love his role in the team at the moment. And he should relish his role in the team at the moment.
I agree.
Because there's loads of football to play. There's loads of football to play. I'd imagine Curtis Jones is probably sitting in the same seat as Harvey Elliott was a couple of years ago. Going, I've been really good when I've come in here and I'm not getting starts. Now Curtis Jones he's played more games in the midfield
Yeah,
than anyone.
I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah. So, look, again, the same way you need players like Endo in your team to win trophies, you need players like Harvey Elliott who are able to come on and sniff it out and turn on his head. And again, another lad who for me it's super important. He fucking loves playing for Liverpool. He loves playing for Liverpool. That's huge for me. I think people often overlook that. It matters to him. He cares. He's not just coming on and collecting a fucking wage. He comes on yesterday and it has a massive effect on that game. And that's what you want bench players to do. I think Liverpool have double the amount of goal assists and contributions off the bench. Now, it helps when we have the forward players that we do. But, like, he's coming on. I'd say he probably has 4 or 5 goal contributions, assists this season off the bench in all competitions, 6, which is huge for him. He wins the game away at Palace and he comes on and turns the game on his head. I have absolutely no issue with Harvey Elliott and his. I love this role in the squad for him. I really do. I don't think it's a case where you're kind of going, well, what's he doing? And is he in the middle of the road somewhere? He's playing just enough football where he's not burnt out, where he's getting experience that I think it'll click for him and he'll be like a fucking massive footballer for Liverpool in the near future. I do really believe he has that ability. The pace thing, he looks quicker than he has in years previous. Runners off him is what I know, and that's going to kill you if you're playing in the current system. But I'd imagine the next manager coming into Liverpool will be looking at him going, "Fuck me, he's a really good footballer, and I can really work with this kid." Yeah, brilliant.
I think I take your points. I think they're excellent. I think, you know, I'm absolutely happy with where he is with regards to coming on. You know, Pasio says there he's a quality player, and if we're playing in Spain, he starts a lot of games as an 8. But this ain't Spain, and we are playing a lot of physical midfields from the start. As the game ages, it gets easier. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And maybe that's just the type of player he is. In some games, you can start him. In some games, you can't. And I think he's been excellent off the bench. He's been excellent in some games he started, but I think it's noticeable when he starts his output as to when he comes off the bench. Yeah, he's allowed to make mistakes. I think the one against Chelsea, I think he's just way too hyper when he comes on. And Chelsea just go, this fella's just pressing for no reason here. We just pop it in here. And the one against Arsenal, him and who was defending with him? They're both at fault. One of them should go to him, one of them should just get in behind and cover Trossard, you know, but that happens. But I agree with you. I'm really comfortable where he is, and if he's coming on and he's affecting games like that, and it means then that possibly if we have the likes of McAllister, Endo, Szoboszlai, Jones, whoever in midfield that are Gravenberch, whoever who's running teams into the fucking ground for him to turn up on 65 and go, listen, go on out there for half an hour, and them boys are wrecked. Have a go. I think it's when you find the right things for people, you find that it's a bit like saying to a fella, go out and play for 60 and you're coming off because you don't have it.
It is as well? It's a fucking massive headache for opposition defenders because you bring Gakpo off the bench or you're playing Salah. Like Salah, they're two lads who are going to run at you and pin you to the line, and you're not going to want to get. You don't give them space. You don't let them get turned. Whereas they're kind of standing off Elliott, and he's like, all right, now bother stand on me. I'm just going to clip this ball into the back post because I have the ability to do it, or I'm going to slide one down the side. How many times have you seen him playing that little slide roll pass into Salah? Just down the side. He gives you a different headache because he's an attacker where, okay, I'll stand. He hasn't got a blister in place and he's not going to pull me, so I can stand up and give him a yard. Or he's just going to clip the ball in behind. He's a very intelligent footballer for his age. Yeah. The chat is lighting up with Wirtz. You obviously haven't watched Wirtz if you're comparing him to Elliott. That too.
No, they play two completely different positions on the pitch.
They play two completely different roles. Like
yeah. And the thing is, I know where the comparison is coming.
Because he's played by Leverkusen and he's managed by Alonso.
I know that. But the thing is, I think if you stuck Elliott into Wirtz's position, I think you'd get more out of Elliott. But having said that, I don't think that's what Liverpool play at the minute. Whereas if next season came and Alonso was in charge of Liverpool, you could see him going, right, listen, you're literally playing this position where Wirtz just literally floats and just helps out the right, helps out the left, holds it up, helps the midfield. He just
that's a floats. Great show. Who put that in? That's a brilliant show. Juan Mate.
Yeah, but the left foot is probably where it comes from with that. But Emmet,
yeah, just pop it around you, good, like not blistering pace, but skillful enough to do that. Yeah. I think he's a long way to go.
He's 2021. Like, you know, there's loads to come from.
Yeah.
Emma, just on him between now and the end of the season. You know, like there's players out. You know, we're going to have that, whether it's injury or suspension or flu or whatever it might be. And you might have to use them in certain games from the start. You know, the sort of way. My only worry when you're playing from the start is when you play Trent as well, you end up with one fella being inverted, one fella not being really an 8 or really a wide player. It kind of gets a bit disjointed for me. But between now and the end of the season, we all have to be kind of happy here if Harvey Elliott, if you can tell me that Harvey Elliott's coming on for half an hour in every game between now and the end of the season, it means he's gonna have a fairly big impact, I think.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I love his role at the moment. I just hope he loves it. He should. He's probably playing more minutes than any other sub. I mean, he came on at half time the weekend, and when he's coming on with a half an hour to play, there's so much added on time. He's probably playing the guts of a half of football every game.
Yeah.
And I do think I think you're right. I think he probably sits watching. He's probably told to sit watching. Where's the holes? You now go on it and go in there. The way we play in first halves of games doesn't suit him because we'd like to play a little bit disjointed for some sort of reason. But I think he should be the first sub in my eyes in a second half, round about the 60-65 mark. Shawnee's right. He's not got the pace, unfortunately, and that's not something that he's going to get either. You don't get faster, you probably only get slower. He can play those little slide balls. He can play the one to the back post as well. But like we saw against Palace, he can also hit one. So he's a triple threat. I like his role at the moment. I was probably one of the ones that didn't see where he fits into the side either. But now he's found that niche. That's his role. He's like the David Fairclough, if you will, super sub. I probably count on one hand good games that he's had when he started. You'd need 3 or 4 hands to count the games that he's had good games in when he's come on off the bench. So that's the way it should stay.
Passio says Elliott has only played 100 minutes less than Curtis Jones this season, which is mad when you think about it. I just think, and that is a bit of a mad stat, but I think when you think of Curtis Jones, you think of Harvey Elliott. I think one's very, very established in a position now, and I think one of them is trying his best to become established in some sort of position. But if he's established as that sub, there's nothing wrong with that. Not at 20 years of age in this Liverpool side that are chasing everything. There's simply nothing wrong with it. And if you can, honestly, if you tell me that Endo, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Jones, right, are absolutely fit between now and the end of the season, and you're going to throw me Gravenberch or Elliott off the bench every single game, I'm taking it every day of the week, because I think Gravenberch can stretch teams with the way he moves with the ball, and he's still learning. He's still the same age. He's the same age as fucking Harvey Elliott. And Harvey Elliott someone said there, I think he's 100 games for Liverpool now. And Harvey Elliott is just watching games, and he can open you up. And I think Liverpool go a long way this season if that's the scenario we end up with them 4 man in those 3 positions overall, and these boys coming in on top of that. I think Liverpool will go a long way.
Elliott does what we kind of lack in the first half of games as well, as he moves the ball very quick, and he presses really well as well.
400 minutes less. 400 minutes less.
Yeah,
which is 3 games left. Yeah, 100 sounds. Yeah, but still, 400 minutes is what 3 games at this fucking stage. You know what I mean? 4 games, which is not an awful lot for someone that's established compared to them. And look, like I said, if he keeps doing that every week, like, who has any issue? Harvey Elliott's not going to get to the end of the season if he wins 2, 3 or 4 trophies and says, "Oh, I don't really come on as a sub." No, he's not. He's going to be like, "That was fucking brilliant." Do you know what I mean? And there's so much more to come from them. There really is. Let me see. Moving up front, Emmet, stay with you. The 3 boys score up front, and I think it's really good. And overall, I just want, Salah's being pictured during the week. He's in the gym. Could he be back at the bench for Brentford? We don't know. But they were talking around the 10th of February. He should be back. 10th, 12th. We're in around that. So we're at that now. We're approaching. Tomorrow's the 12th of February. But just overall, have we given enough credit to this forward line in his absence? Because I think they've done excellent in his absence. I don't think we're down on chance created. I don't think average goals is down. And I think as a cover for what we're trying to do to get Salah back into this team for the running, you have to give huge amounts of credit to Jota, Diaz, Nunez and Gakpo. I think they've all played their part.
I think they had a bit of an off day last week, and maybe 3-4 weeks ago there was a little bit of concerns. But other than that, like, Jota's Jota, like, do you know what I mean? He's a goal scorer. He'll do nothing in a game for 70, 80 minutes, and then he'll score 2 goals. Like, Nunez is running his absolute cojones off. Delighted he got his goal yesterday. Diaz is slowly coming into it as well. I thought they maybe looked a little bit disjointed in the first half, but the second half I thought they were all excellent. Nunez especially.
He needs to stop kicking the fucking ball away, though.
Stop. That's just...
Like, I get he's frustrated, but he's being booked in 2 weeks now. One, for flailing his arms around at the referee, which it's going to happen, even though he's right. And the second one, he literally he thinks he's being fouled, and then he just kicks the ball away.
Has he ever been yellow carded for a tackle?
I think he might have been done for one at Sheffield United.
One.
Yeah.
How many has he got? Do you know what I mean? So
you can't put a saddle on a Mustang, boys. That's the way he is. That's the way he is.
I know, but like, the way people get fined and all, they should be just giving him a dig when he comes down the tunnel, Johnny. Someone just a sucker punches as he turns that corner from the tunnel. one of the lads just going bang. That's for fucking kicking the ball away.
He's well aware of all the show everyone is talking about, man. Even people in our fan base giving him fucking shy. He's well aware of all of it. You're absolutely mad if you think he's immune to it. He carries it. But the thing is, I fucking love it about him. It gives him that edge.
I know, but Shawnee, a couple of games down the road and he's suspended for a game.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I hope he gets booked against Brentford and then gets booked again. Gets booked in the final and he can miss the game against fucking Southampton. That's the way I look at it. That's
honestly, but you don't carry over into competitions now.
They do.
Don't think they do.
Yeah, but I think you also at this stage of the season you have to get 10. But I don't think he's anywhere near that.
No, I don't think you do. I think what happens is after a certain point, they all get put back to 0. If you get 5 more, that would be. If you get 5 at the fourth period of the season, you get a ban. If you go another 5, you get a 2-game ban because it's a total of 10.
Oh, I thought it changes in January from 5 as a ban to 10 as a ban, but you keep the cards. Anyway, look, regardless, I don't think he's anywhere near a ban, but I think we're a much.
He's 2 bookings away from a 2-game ban.
Oh, is he?
So Thor says.
No, because he needs 10 bookings to get
10
2
bookings. He's on 8.
He's on 8.
Yeah, it's just
now you don't like them.
No, I do. Like you can't. Like it's just fucking part and parcel. He plays with his heart on his sleeve, and that's it. You can't take that edge away from a player. It's as simple as that. You can't call him Darwin Chaos and fucking be putting all this stuff about how much you love him and then getting on him for that. That's the way he is, boys. He's South American. They play with fucking the bit of fire in the belly. Sometimes you need the ice in the head, but that's what gives him the edge. Honest to God, he's still young as well.
Yeah,
he's relatively. He will be learning on the job. Last year he was swinging hooks at blokes and getting sent off a lot. He's already coming on. You just have to fucking.
Darwin Nunez this season in the Premier League, 23 games, started 15, 8 goals, 7 assists, 8 bookings.
Yeah.
Did he get a 1-game ban for 5 bookings? Then he must have.
No,
or maybe he just about missed and he's got 4 in his last 4 or something.
Look, yeah, I just think like you said, Shawnee, he's young. It is kind of passion and stuff like that, but like I think we're a much weaker side without him, or a less effective side 100%. Without him in the team. So like we don't need to be missing him for. Is it the 9th of March when City come to town? Yeah. You want him in the team. So I'd be looking at him getting his suspension out of the way before that.
But it's going to be tough to get a suspension out of the way before that because it's 2 games. And
he won't he'll be known. He'll be they'll just fucking.
I'm not too sure. Can someone tell me, because I remember there was confusion over this. Are they carried over into different competitions? I thought.
Oh yeah, no. So league competition. So if you get suspended, if he gets 2 bookings in the next 2 games, which is Brentford and Luton midweek.
Yeah, he'd be out for the next 2 league games.
He'd missed the League Cup final. It's because it's the league. They definitely carry into League Cup, unless they've changed that. Because I remember someone getting sent off, and one of their games was the League Cup. One of the games was a league game.
I think they did. I think they did change that a while ago.
Give her over, bleeding. Looking into yellow cards. Fuck off, please.
I'm just saying. Come here, you're telling me that. Hold on a minute, you're telling me that now, and then he'll get his 10 booking, and you go, that fucking idiot. Look, he's out of that game now.
That's football. That's
Shawnee,
football.
It's not football though. Shawnee, it's not.
18 games of football at Liverpool are doing fucking stupid shit, and he's still regarded as one of the best players
He's still regarded as one of the best players we ever had. I understand that, but what I'm saying is, I don't mind if he's getting yellow cards for a challenge or he's roughing a fella up, but he's literally getting fucking yellow cards for kicking the. I'd love to know how many of the 8 are from kicking the ball away. That's all I want to know.
Look, he's fucking great for the stuff. Leave him alone.
Anyway, he gets a great header yesterday. Shawnee,
unbelievable header.
Yeah, Shawnee, let me ask you, because Emmet saying that he's giving them credit, but the boys that have played up front in Salah's absence, because everyone was telling you, oh no, they're fucked. Salah's out. Well, he'd be gone. He'd be gone to the middle of February because of the AFCON and stuff. They've done excellent to keep us in that position. They all have, but especially the forwards, I think, to show up, get goals, get assists, big goals. Like they couldn't have done much more for Mo Salah to say, listen, will you come back into this fucking team and let's have a right go at this?
Yeah, and look, I think when we we all remarked after Salah's last game was Newcastle, wasn't it? I think when we done post-match shows after Newcastle, I think we were all saying, "Oh, look, our form like we've not really lost games, and Salah's been out of the team. We've always won, and we just kind of had wars with each other, saying, do you know what? If the rest of the lads just need to step up, and that's exactly what they've done. I think they've all been brilliant and contributed in their own ways. Diaz has really looked like him not his old self again. He's picked up a bit of form. Jota is Jota, a killer. Gakpo's been good foil, and Nunez is again not the prettiest on the eye. Yeah, he's hitting the crossbar and missing chances, but he's putting numbers on the board, and that's exactly what he's doing. And I don't. Nunez's game is not just solely all about numbers on the board. It's the effect he has on opposition teams with the attributes.
100%. Yeah.
And I think that's often overlooked. I think Arsenal probably bred a sigh of relief last week, and he was on the bench, and you could see they were able to just go, do you know what? We'll step up 5-10 minutes here, because neither of these three are going to run in behind you or give you too much hassle, and then you're going to, oh, for fuck's sake. I seen Gabriel Magalhaes talking about Darwin Nunez the other day, saying you don't know what you want to get, or you're going to get when I've played against him for Arsenal, I've played against him for Brazil, and he's just fucking like lightning in a bottle trying to control him. So that's what people need to do. Look, we haven't missed Salah, have we?
No, I don't think so. I think
we haven't. There you go. Like, you can go away to Arsenal and get beaten with Salah in your team.
Of course,
like it's one of the more difficult ways, especially against the Arsenal side. I think they've been fucking great. Honest to God, I think they've been great. I think so much so they've been great where it hasn't got to a situation where you're fucking hitting the bleeding emergency glass and rushing Salah back in to play football because you're struggling in front of goal. Salah's been able to do his full recovery now, and he'll come in, and if we were struggling and there was a talk of Salah being fit for Brentford, he'd be starting. But the talk is, well, Salah might make the bench for Brentford, because that's all he has to do at the moment. And I think that speaks volumes for how well the three boys have done. And I'll just caveat it all by saying, I think where we end up this season will massively will depend on if we can keep Diogo Jota fit, because he is clutch. Yeah, as clutch is. Like, I think if it's 0-0 against City in the 90th minute in a couple of weeks, and they're picking one player for the ball to drop there,
it's him.
I know who I'm picking. Yeah,
fucking right, it's him. He's the best finisher at the club. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so
there's a shout for the league, not just the club. I think possibly in the league.
I think he's just brilliant. I think he sniffs. Not even that he sniffs out chances. I just think with Diogo Jota, it's just like he's just a striker. That's what he is. You know what I mean? And the thing about him is, I think he's a bit of a throwback, and I don't mean that by he's in the box just fucking diving, heading and all. He just has. There's so many good strikers over the years where you go, he's not the tallest. He's definitely not the fucking quickest. But boy Jesus, the ball seems to get him in the box, or he seems to be real direct with it, and he gets himself chances. And the majority of the time he takes them. Some of the times, like Chelsea at home, he must have slashed out a bleeding about 5 of them near the end, smashed them over the bar and all.
I know he's a bit of a muppet and ended up playing for everything, but Connor Cody was on a podcast recently, and I think it might have been Ben Foster's, and they asked him about Jota, and he goes, I just remember the first time seeing him, playing with him, it was against United in the FA Cup, and he shrugs 3 or 4 players off and just buries it, and Cody was going around going, fucking hell, like, what's the story with this fella, and what foot is he? Like, is he left footed? Is he right footed? Nobody could make out. He had a good foot and a really good foot. He's fucking class. I
think like people just going back to, you know, are thinking like Salah gets back. I mean, you know, Salah, you know what Salah does. I think what Salah brings as Salah is excellent. I think the fact that it's another option, i.e. a 5th option up there, is brilliant. But I also think if the lads have done brilliant. But I think when you start opening up a few more options to them, like Jota, you can go off and play left if Diaz isn't having the best of times. Nunez, you can now go left because Jota can go into the middle. Gakpo, you can go and play. Because Gakpo is probably the one that's looked a bit out of sorts without Salah there. Little bit. But I think he's being really good. I just think he looks like the one that's being... Yeah... The rest of them look a bit more fluid. He's not. He kind of he likes playing with Salah.
I think Gakpo could come on and be better in games.
Yeah, I think he likes playing with Salah. But I think you might see the best of Gakpo there, where he goes, right, Salah's back. I can go through the middle. But
again, you need to realise that Gakpo's another one where Klopp will go, right, you know what, you're going to drop in and play as an 8 this week, and I trust you to do that. Are you going to go out right? Are you going to play through the middle? Are you going to play in the left? And he's happy to do that because of his temperament and the type of player he is. Like, I'd imagine if you said to Gakpo, how many games you started for Liverpool in your favourite position, I'd say he probably could count on one hand. You know, since he's come in, and like, he should be commended for it, in my opinion. He's done a job. He's done a job whenever he's asked. Like, one game stands out. He was brilliant away to Madrid in the Champions League last year. I thought he fucking ran his bollocks off, and he's been good in that 8 when he's being deployed there. But
it's just another element. Salah coming back for loads of different reasons. James
Who drops
CBR
out?
says. Well, one sec. James CBR says, I saw Cody in a local Indian. He ordered a karma, the boring bastard. Who drops out? I'm not bothered. The way I look at it is Liverpool have 7 fellas or whatever on the bench.
No, I'm not bothered either. But who would you take out? Out of the front three that started.
It all depends on what game you're playing. It really does.
I take Diaz out and I put Nunez on the left. Jota through the middle, Nunez on the left, Salah on the right. I think.
I could see something like that. Then again, against City, you could argue that, you know, Kyle Walker is really fucking rapidly fast as well. Do you need someone a bit more guile? And then you could say, well, put Jota out there, because if the chance comes on a back post, Jota will outthink Kyle Walker. In that case, do you know, there's just there's just options. And I think the fact that we're really good at what we do at the minute, and bringing in a Salah on top of that, and teams are going, fucking hell. Like, we know we're going to have to deal with these for 60, 65, and there's another 2 pricks coming off the bench, and they're probably going to throw Harvey Elliott at us as well. Do you know the sort of way? So I just think the more options you have, the better. And it's not a case of, we've 6 there, but you can only really count 4 of them. Let's be honest. They've 5 there, and you can count all fucking 5. And that's the biggest thing overall. Lads, before we go, really quickly, everyone watched Bayer Leverkusen last night. Beat Bayern Munich 3-0, and Eric Dyer running around the pitch in the Bundesliga is something to behold. But I watched it last night, and of course it gets you thinking over the next Liverpool manager. Will it be Xavi Alonso? And I watched them a couple of weeks ago. I think it might have been against Mönchengladbach, and I felt they were very playing in front of this team all the time, and a lot of nice triangles and stuff like that. But what I watched last night from them was terrific. It was fucking, you know, literally told Bayern to have the ball in the first 15 minutes. What can you do? And then went, you just can't really do much. Right, we're going to start playing now, and just continuously open them up with like 4 passes going the full length of the pitch. But it was excellent to watch. Emma, where are you on this? Because most people, I think, have nailed and mastered Xavi Alonso, but, and I have. I'm going to say I have, for numerous reasons. But where are you realistically on it? Do you think that, and I don't mean like what do you want? I think you might want Alonso, but if you don't, tell me. But are we being a bit naive to think that Liverpool are sitting there going, that Alonso fella's good, should we ring him? Are we being a bit naive to think that? Because Liverpool know about this 3 months.
I think I said it, maybe not last weekend, maybe the weekend before. I think contact has probably already been made. I was all in on Alonso. Then I watched the video. I think it was today. I might have sent it to you, or yesterday. And then I found a little bit more, and I put that in on it as well. So I'm doubly all in on Alonso. Just listening to him talk, I think even his post-match interview last night was extremely impressive. I just think, and I think we said it in the chat, and Sean, his brother Paddy, was saying, like, if it's not him, who's it going to be? And you can't really see anybody else. And I asked the question, are FSG in a position now where if it's not him, they're disappointing I would say 75% of the fan base. Because I think
Again,
probably, yeah, let's say 85, maybe a little bit more. But look, you're always going to have people that maybe don't want him. But I think they're in a position now where if it's not him, whoever it is has to come in and they have to earn the respect of the crowd. Alonso walks in with the respect already in his back pocket, and everybody will be all in on Xabi Alonso. Somebody else walking in needs to build a relationship with the team, build a relationship with the crowd, the whole fan base. I think he's the perfect fit. I think the players that we mentioned Harvey Elliott. I think you might see him deployed in a Alonso starting lineup. Gravenberch probably suits it a little bit better than maybe what he suits with us at the moment. I just think it's it's an extremely good squad in an extremely good place for Alonso to come in. He's not going to come in and play exactly the same, but I don't think they play a whole pile different either. But I'm all in on Alonso.
I I'm you know my reasons, so I'm not going to go into it again because people that listen to this know the reasons. I'm not too sure they play. I'm not too sure they play a whole way similar to Liverpool.
no, they don't play because
I think when I watch them, I'm intrigued by their back five because as soon as Bayern got the ball,
I was
last
talking
night,
more so about the pressing and stuff like that.
oh yeah, the pressing, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
But watching them last night, like they literally fall into a back five, bang, straight line in a five. As soon as Bayern got it, and as soon as Bayern popped into, they let them pop it into midfield, and then one of the centre halves just steps out and goes, right, I'm on top of you, and I'll follow you. And then when you play it back, I'm just dropping back into the five. So what happens is Bayern end up just actually moving themselves back towards their own fucking goal with the ball. It's actually mad to watch. And then just about as Bayern Leverkusen are about to hit them, what they do is they get them into a position where they go, when you pop this in this time, our midfielder's going to come after you, and the centre half are going to come after you. And whenever you turn, we're going to nip it. And when we nip it, then boom, boom, boom. And we mightn't go straight for your goal. We might just play a couple of triangles around you and switch it, and then we just start playing it. I thought they were excellent, and it's like for me, I never watched fucking German football. I watched that last night because it was the top two, and I fucking hate Thomas Tuchel. So to watch that last night and just watch the way they played defensively more than attacking wise, believe it or not, just defensively to see what way they're set up. Are they? Because I always get this feeling that when teams play like that, can they be a bit open at the back? But they don't look that at all. They look like they're so disciplined in what they're doing, and they were just the way they set with that five can look very defensive, but he actually lures teams in, and then just but they're so adventurous, but dependable on the ball is probably a way of putting it. And 3 months they know about Klopp, and if they're looking for the next big thing, like people are saying there, Amarim is it from Sporting Lisbon is the other name being mentioned. I haven't seen his name. I don't even know who that fella is. Don't even know what he looks like.
That wouldn't sleep on him either, to be honest.
He must be really good because he's being mentioned. But like Shawnee, where are you? They're 3 months down the line. Xabi Alonso's name is popping up now. And I think the biggest kicker in all this is that neither club have opened their mouth. Neither club. Bayer Leverkusen could easily come out and say something, but they haven't opened their mouth, Johnny. If there was leaks coming out, I'd be kind of going, is this in the balance? Are the clubs playing off against each other? But the fact there's nothing being said actually makes me more confident that it is Xabi Alonso.
Keep an eye on the news in Spain. That's what I'd say. Look at the Spanish outlets, because they are always ahead of the curve when it comes to what's going on, especially with managers. They had their ear on the ground with the whole Ancelotti Brazil thing, and then that was all rubbish. And they were saying now Ancelotti's looking to stay on. He's been given more control at Real Madrid, which he's never had, which no manager has ever had, and he's extended. And the talk now in Spain is that Lopetegui is being earmarked for Leverkusen, because Leverkusen are in the process now of choosing a successor to Xabi Alonso. Now, fucking walks like a duck, sounds like a duck. It's normally a duck. And I agree with what you said. I think the radio silence on both halves. And I don't expect fucking Liverpool to be coming out thrown out. I think Liverpool are way down the line in both of their acquisitions, about the sporting director and a first team coach. And the sporting directors at the moment is currently employed, and under contract until a certain stage and will have the opportunity to get out, which I think will be the case. And the next Liverpool manager is currently in a job, and in a job where there's jeopardy. So, and I just, you can't see past Xabi Alonso based on what he said in the past, based on his acumen now. I think if FSG want to be seen as serious, which I think you can't really look, they hired Klopp, but if they want to be saying, okay, Klopp's gone, we're still about here and we're still serious, you're going to get the most sought after manager in the world, and it is Xabi Alonso. And I think the stars are aligning for it. And I just, it was always going to be timing with whether Alonso was ever going to get a Liverpool job. It was like, he's been talked about since he's been at Sociedad B as being one of these upcoming coaches that players like top class. Like you don't. My favourite Liverpool player ever is Xabi Alonso. I've said this.
Yeah, you love him.
Umpteen podcasts before this was ever a fucking thing I put into the ether. So it's easy for me to kind of get married to this idea, but I just think
oh yeah, definitely wearing your Xabi Alonso pajamas most days of the week now.
Just Xabi Alonso pajamas to me is just being in the nude. Do you know what I love about him?
Just being in the nude.
Yeah, just being in the nude. Do you know what I love about him? You see all these wanker managers in their runners and their chinos and their little cardigans, and there's no substance. It's just all bleeding. Oh yeah, I'm young coach and swagger. You know, just by looking at Alonso, he has a bit. He had it as a player.
Yeah.
Look at the coaches. You look at the managers he's had. The thing he's won. He's won everything you can in the game. Yeah, and like the way he carried himself as a player, it's just been fucking like exemplary. Like, I loved Xabi Alonso. I hate Benitez. The reason why I hate Rafa Benitez is because of his treatment.
What he done to Xabi Alonso?
Yeah, in the end, I can't see past it. I can't see past. I think it's an open goal. I think it'd be the best appointment to be made, and I think it would be. What speaks volumes is the opposition fans going, "Oh, yeah, they're going to get Alonso. Or what's he done in the game?" Or, they don't want us to have him because they all know how good he is. And put it this way, right? If you don't think Alonso's good enough to manage Liverpool, he's gonna be the next. He's gonna manage Madrid, because if he's not managing Liverpool, he's managing Real Madrid, and if he's not managing Real Madrid, he's managing Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
that's the caliber of him. If you don't think he has the stones, just look at what they do. People are turning around saying the free flowing football there. He fucking took Leverkusen out of gutter last year, shored them up completely. That's what he had to do. And they were defensively solid for the back end. And then he was like, do you know what? Give me a summer. Give me a pre-season. I'm going to make a few clever signings. He brings Xhaka in, who's been fucking... I always like Xhaka as a player. I'm not going to... I think he's a good player, good system player. And if you put the right players around him, you get the best out of him. And he brings Grimaldo in from Benfica, who's been a fucking revelation. He's taken Nathan Tella, who got Burnley promoted last year in the Championship, and turned him into one of the best wide attackers in Europe. He's a proper fucking coach with proper substance. You seen him after the game yesterday? You seen him how he carries himself, and then the interviews. He's ready for it. He's ready for it. I feel the stars have aligned, and I think Jurgen Klopp is an absolute fucking liar that he said he's had no influence about who's coming in, because I know for a fact in my own heart he's already had conversations with him about coming in. I feel like it's aligned. I really do. This isn't a fucking Bellingham thing, pie in the sky. I just feel like there's an alignment here where he can walk out Leverkusen the champion and into Liverpool, a team ready to go again, ready to make his mark, and he doesn't have to fucking rip up the whole script. There's a team ready made from there at Liverpool, who the fans will already be on his side. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's a tap in. It's a tap in.
The way the situation of the clubs has gone as well, because Real Madrid, like if you say, if Ancelotti's extending, Bayern Munich have Tuchel, but do Bayern Munich fucking get rid of Tuchel and look to bring in Alonso? But I don't think Alonso, after doing that at Leverkusen, might go there. I think you're right. I think the fact that, do you know what it is? If Liverpool know about this since November, right, or if Klopp decided tomorrow that, you know, fucking I'm going, Liverpool then have a process to start, and I think Bayern Munich have probably already started a process with regards to Thomas Tuchel, which puts Bayern Munich ahead of Liverpool in what they're doing. But the fact that Liverpool know this 3 months ago, surely they're looking, going, right, who is the candidate? Who is the one we want? And Klopp definitely has an influence on it. That you'd be mad not to. The fella,
He's annoying.
yeah, Carl, I think he is, because
cares
he's there.
too much.
He's there 9 years and he's handing it over, and
He cares too much.
the reason he has an influence on it for me is that he could have went at the end of last season and he cared too much that he wanted to make it right before he could say, right, I can go now because I've put us kind of back where we should be. And look, I think a lot of people don't want to get too attached to Xavi Alonso in case it doesn't happen, and that's understandable. And people are kind of going, I don't see beyond Xavi Alonso. There is managers beyond Xavi Alonso, let's be honest. But I think now, I agree with you. I agree with you. He's Real Madrid manager. I think he's Real Madrid manager if Liverpool don't go and do him. I agree. Emma, I'll give you the last word on this. Is he Real Madrid manager?
I agree. I agree. I think if he's given the option of all three, he takes them in the order of Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. That's and Shawnee, you know a little bit more about the Ancelotti thing. When did the talks of him extending come around?
It's already.
No, I know that, but when did that start?
October.
I have this thing in my head that Klopp told Liverpool in November, and then Ancelotti extends in December, and I'm thinking, was contact already made?
And they were told no.
Not Madrid. So no, did Liverpool make contact with Alonso, and maybe Madrid were trying to sound him out as well, and they were told, look, he has something sorted. I'm not saying that he said he was going to Liverpool, and then they said, right, let's extend Ancelotti.
You never know, but the thing is,
put it this way: if it wasn't going to be Alonso, there would have been PR moves at the club to be fanning the flames of that already and quelling them and saying, you know what, they like the job that he's doing at Yoke, but they're looking away somewhere else. And that's honestly, I reckon
the fact that nothing's being said would make me more confident.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way.
That's where I think it is. Anyway, look, we're going over time, as we always fucking do. But before we go, a couple of links are in the description, whether you're watching now or you're listening on download tomorrow. So a couple of important ones. Our fundraiser for fan supporting food banks and the Lighthouse is in there. €10,000 is our target. You've heard this loads and loads of times already. You're going to hear loads and loads of times more. But the link is in there if you want to donate. Please do. A $5, a tenner is massive if you keep doing that. As I always say, if all the people watching here gave a tenner, and everyone that downloads gave a tenner, we'd be well over that. Gave a $5, we'd be well over the target. So if you can, please do it. The link is in the description. Football prizes have 2 prizes up at the moment. One has a day to go, which is the Harvey Elliott signed and dedicated Liverpool jersey. There's some tickets there if you want to do that. The link is in the description for that. There's only, I think that's over at 7 p.m. tomorrow, so get in there and get that. The link is there. And the last one is the Xavi Alonso one, funny enough, has a couple of days to run, I think, and that one is signed, framed with LED and with built-in TV on that one. There's instant prizes to be won on both of those links as well. So if you want to get in there, get yourself a ticket or two, help out football prizes. Brilliant stuff. Their stuff is excellent, by the way. Anyone I've spoken to that's won with them said the quality is exceptional. Everything has the certificate of authentication as well, just to let you know. And last but not least, Phil Casey of this parish is doing 5 challenges, as we'll call them, between now and the end of the year. That involves like running up hills, mountains, cycling. I think he's canoeing. He's fucking doing all, you know him, he's mad. But he's doing these for the Laura Lynn Hospice, which is another brilliant charity. So if you can, the link is in the description. It's an I Donate link. Go in there, give him a few quid as well. So if you have a tenner, right? If you have a tenner, give a $5 to us and a $5 to him. And if you have another $5 on top of that, buy yourself a ticket from Football Prizes. James says, I still can't get on the Telegram. Email us, talkinkop1@gmail.com. And if you're a member, we will get you sorted and into them. What's on this week, says Gav. Gav says, Paul, what's on this week? I should be here at 10 in the morning. We should be back tomorrow night at 10. We will have the greatest on Thursday. That will be Keith, Phil, and Matt. And we'll throw something else in. I'm away with work this week, so I'll be organising it all from miles away, but I will do it. And of course, we'll be back for the match next Saturday. We'll be back next Sunday, and as much as we can get in during the week, we absolutely will. Emma, anything else before we go?
Yeah, if you haven't looked at the post-match show or listened to the post-match show yesterday, listen to it for Kev O'Sullivan's impression of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay.
It's absolute quality. And he caught Matt off guard as well. He says, honestly, he said, coming on here, I didn't expect Kev O'Sullivan to do Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah, but it caught me off guard as well.
Okay. Okay, good stuff. What's the go with bang average goals, says James Stevens? We will be back. The weather has been appalling, right? And I love golf, and I go out and play golf, but I'm not going out to film golf while me and Neely trudge around in fucking 6 inches of muck, and we can't hit the ball when it's dry. Imagine us trying to hit it in a field that's bleeding underwater. So it will be back very, very soon. We're hoping to get the filming starting again. Our plan is to film 2 days a month, and now with those 2 days we will have 8 videos. So with those 8 videos, hopefully every month, 6 weeks, so we're constantly keep you a video per week. It is absolutely is.
Will you hurry up? I'm about to miss some.
Shawnee, you won't miss anything. Anything else before we go?
The no mag butchering the American national anthem is the best part of the Super Bowl the whole time.
Who's on a half time?
Now, Crystal Swing and the Ghost of Joe Dolan.
Crystal Swing and the Ghost of Joe Dolan. A Joe Dolan hologram.
Before we go, James CBR is asking about the email.
In Spanish.
Yes.
James CBR is asking about the email. It's on the Instagram as well, James.
Yeah. Talkin,
if you have a look.
talkinkop1@gmail.com. TALKINKOP1@gmail.com. Shawnee, anything else before we go?
No, all good.
No, okay. Good stuff. Right, that has been the Talkin Kop for Sunday night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks to Emma. Thanks to Shawnee. We're all off to watch some fella make a bollocks of the national anthem. Usher and Joe Dolan and Crystal Swing are on at half time and go join.
Usher Celtics won that 12.
Celtic won that 12 at tap dancing. Go on, talk to you a bit. Over and out.